My name is Jessica Freeman, and this is my story. I was born on September 4th, 1989, but my story really starts about 9 months before I was born. My mom had just dropped out of college, and she was pursuing a career, and she was dating a Christian football player at a Christian university. And they had been dating for about 2 years when she found out she was pregnant. When my mom went to the nurse to confirm that she was pregnant, the nurse told her that she was. The first thing that she said was, "No, I want an abortion." I know now that my mom was just really scared, because anybody that was 21 years old and unmarried would probably have the same reaction. But regardless, she went ahead and started pursuing the abortion process. She went to a clinic in Missouri, and she sat down with one of the ladies in the office, and they told her that basically the process would take 2 days. They would dilate her and they would stage delivery. She couldn't afford it at the time, but she took all the literature and took it to my biological father, and they decided that they would save up the money to have an abortion. When my mom realized that it was taking a lot longer than she had expected to come up with the money, she got really, really depressed and decided that she was going to take her life. So she sent her twin sister, my aunt, to go get sleeping pills. She said she was really tired and that she couldn't really get any sleep because of the pregnancy. I found out later that she wasn't really looking in the first place, that she had a feeling that my mom didn't really need them and that it wasn't as big of a deal as she was making it out to be. I know that God really did save my life through my aunt, that the Holy Spirit was telling her not to go get those pills and not to provide the tools that my mom needed to commit suicide. When my aunt came back empty-handed after being asked to go get sleeping pills from my mom told me that she felt really abandoned and forgotten. And so she went to her room and she was just crying out to God. She didn't know what else to do. I mean, she was absolutely desperate. And she said in that moment, she just felt the love of God fall into the room. And she knew that no matter what was going to come her way, that she was going to be able to do what God had set out for her to do, and that was to keep me. That day was the moment that she knew that she could not have an abortion. About a month after that whole situation, her placenta started to tear. She didn't know that at the time. She just knew that she was having a lot of pain. She went to the emergency room because the pain didn't stop, and that's when they told her that her placenta had torn and that everything was okay, but she needed to get rid of the stress in her life. The biggest stress that she was facing was knowing that her parents and her siblings and everybody in her family didn't even know that she was pregnant, and she was 7 months pregnant at this point. My mom was able to keep it a secret because at the time she lived in Springfield, Missouri, and my family lived in Oklahoma City. My aunt lived in Missouri with her, but my mom is really tall and she hid her pregnancy well. She wore a lot of baggy clothes, and so it was really easy for her to keep it hidden from everyone. So my mom decided to move home. At this point, my biological father had already moved to Florida to pursue a career, and so she really felt like the best way that she could bring this child into the world is be with those people who would support her no matter what. So she moved home, and for the last 2 months of her pregnancy, she lived with her parents. And then I was born on September 4th. My grandmother and my grandfather always say that I brought love into our family, that before they had a hard time expressing love to each other, but when I was born, love came into the family. And so I'm very blessed to have an amazing family. My mom is one of my heroes. She is getting her counseling degree, and she wants to help unwed mothers and single moms. I just want to challenge you, whoever you are watching this video, that your voice counts and that what you do to make a stand for life matters. My mom and I would both tell you that even though women's rights is very important, it's also important to take a stand for the unborn, because those are the people who want to speak that don't have a voice. And so it's our responsibility as Christians, as people who believe in the sanctity of life, to take a stand and to do something. Don't think that your voice doesn't count, because my voice counts, and so does yours.